Good morning. You've reached What's on Scott's Mind. We are in that special season in between the last college football game and bowl season, which is the end of the year. Indiana University won the Big Ten title, as I mentioned last week, which is awesome, which means Indiana University is going to the Rose Bowl playing on January 1st, 2026. So the next game is until January, which is awesome. However, last Saturday, Fernando Mendoza, the quarterback of Indiana University, won the Heisman Trophy. Heisman Trophy is given to the outstanding college football player of that year. It's an impressive honor. The thing to remember, from my perspective, is that in the history of Indiana University, they've never had a Heisman Trophy winner. Curtis Rourke placed in last year's. I think he was in the top 10. Anthony Thompson placed second to Andre Ware back in 1989. That was the last time we were really, really close. But Indiana University has not necessarily had an excessive amount of football success over the years, so it's delightful that we have a Heisman Trophy winner. Playing around with, doing a lot of upgrades in the house, basically upgrading all my products that are end of life. But in particular, I upgraded to the new Apple TV. Now, I use the Apple TV probably different than most people do. I use it as a streaming device, which is what it is, obviously. But I also use it as a screen sharing device, so I can share things that are on my iPhone, share things that are on my iPad. So I use it somewhat non-standard, somewhat standard. But it is, something that I've been looking at, considering upgrading it. I decided to upgrade. I almost upgraded to the Mac Mini for our home theater rather than to the Apple TV box, but I decided to stick with Apple TV. We have two in the house, one in the bedroom, one in the home theater area. Anyway, it was just an interesting consideration. On Sunday, Puck and I went for our usual long walk. I will tell you that it was cold. My hands were freezing. I have hand warmers. They don't produce a lot of heat, but they produce a little bit of heat, and that kept me from getting frostbite, but it certainly was not the most comfortable walk. So one of the things I'm looking at is a new set of heated gloves. Heated gloves are nice. I have a really big pair of ski gloves, but doesn't do me a lot of good to wear ski gloves all the time. They're big, they're bulky. So anyway, I'm looking at alternates and other things. I'm also looking at adding a heated jacket. I have a heated jacket now. I'm looking at adding a second one so I can take the existing heated jacket and make it my standard walk coat, and the new one as more of a dressier when I'm going to work and things like that. So kind of where I am with heated things. It is a little colder this year than last year. Went to the RV and started it. It did not want to start because it's so cold, but we had lunch in the RV. It was a bit nippy. We ran the RV for a long enough time period to move the temperature up into the 50s inside the RV. Didn't have to do that, but chose to do that. I don't know. When you have an RV, you don't want it to freeze. Even if it doesn't have water in it, ours does not have water in it, it's still, you don't want it to freeze, if at all possible. Freezing is not a good thing when you're talking about pipes and things like that there. Anyway, that was the weekend. Finished up the fencing. Had to redo the fencing. Our new dog, Sadie, is a jumper. She's also a digger. And so I had to put a layer of chicken wire along our back fence so that she couldn't easily jump it. She hadn't been able to get out since we put it up, which was 2 weeks ago, and finished it up with staples and things like that yesterday so that it was more stable, more solid. But it is an interesting problem, honestly, to consider, how a dog thinks. Because I don't think she wants to run away from us. I don't think she wants to ditch us. I think she's just an explorer at heart, which is something that I can understand. Dylan was an explorer at heart. Puck is more driven by wanting to be around me. So, it's interesting. Anyway, dogs are hilarious. I adore dogs. I'm a huge dog lover, have been my whole life, and I'm always amazed by how cool dogs really are and how much crap they put up with from humans. Anyway, last thing, I did upgrade to iOS 26.2 on my watch, my phone, my iPad, and my Mac. Um, like I said, I upgraded the physical hardware of the Apple TV boxes, but I also upgraded the rest of my Apple devices to 26.2. The one thing I will note, in having used it for a couple of hours, is going to be on my extended tech review, which I will also be posting today. And on that note, thank you for listening to What's on Scott's Mind.